Sonic Frontiers has been a topic of discussion for quite a while now. The open world nature of it is bringing so many new people into this franchise, and it has so many people interested in what this Sonic game is going to have to offer. Sonic Frontiers, when it comes to the open world, or open zone as it's being referred to, is going to have to bring it to its best ability. Because once again, this is Sonic's big break in the open world format. And now that we have gotten a lot of the gameplay and seen how the game looks, along with the combat, the exploration, some of the cyberspace stages, some of the activities you can do in the world, we've gotten a good idea of how the gameplay loop works. But I've seen some people refer to the game as looking empty. And I have my own thoughts on why I think the game doesn't actually look as empty as everyone's making it out to be. Obviously, this is just speculation because none of us have the game in our hands, but going based off what we have received so far, I feel justified enough to giving my opinion on why I think the game doesn't really seem that empty. But before we hop into that, hey, you there. Yeah, you watching. There's 49,000 people that keep coming back to these videos. I don't really have 49,000 subscribers. Since you guys keep on coming back, why not hit the subscribe button? It really helps out the channel, and so that way you don't have to miss anything. Thanks, guys. So what makes an open world game open? Well, I'd say honestly the freedom to be able to explore without being forced along a linear path. Sonic Frontiers does do that. But what makes an open world good, you may ask? And I think this question can be answered in a lot of different ways because there's many different ways to make an open world. Breath of the Wild focuses on almost complete openness and almost no structure. You could play the game in almost any order. You go straight to the main boss in the first 25 minutes of the game. Or you can do the Divine Beast in any order you want. Or not do them or do some of them. You pretty much do whatever you want in that game. But then we have games that are more focused, like Assassin's Creed, that has a beaten out story for you, where there's plenty of side missions all over the place. Now this is my own personal opinion, the way Assassin's Creed does side missions is very not fun. A lot of it's copy and paste content that kind of gets really repetitive over time. And even the formula of those games gets repetitive where you go to the tower, unlock the thing, and move on. Breath of the Wild is also like that with literally unlocking the towers, but the nature of it's a lot different with how open the game is. But a different third example I want to bring up is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a segmented world where not everything is combined as one, but the open zones are kind of similar of how Sonic Frontiers is going to be doing open zones. Now Legends Arceus will probably have less things to do overall compared to Frontiers because you're mostly catching Pokemon and hitting trees and rocks to get stuff, but that same kind of concept of the different play areas is going to be played out in Frontiers, and that's another approach to how to make an open world game. Xenoblade Chronicles is one of my favorite games of all time, but the world is segmented. If you combine it all together, it's one crazy big open world, but there's still really big segmented areas, and it's still a valid way to make a semi-open world. I don't think an open world has to be necessarily seamless. We don't know if it's going to be seamless traveling to the different islands. I don't think it will be. If it is, that'll change the immersion around the game at least. But overall, the point I'm making is there's several ways to make an open world kind of game. Now obviously we know there are different ways to make a different kind of open world game, but what you guys are used to seeing is density. Density is something that is very important in open world games because density is the measurement of how many activities there are in relative closeness to each other. In Elden Ring, it feels like there's something practically around the corner all the time. Now they do give you a horse for faster travel, but that also increases the time to engagement. Time to engagement is something that is very important in an open world. It's how often you'll probably be running into an activity that you should probably be taking care of. Now, there's one thing about Sonic that is completely different about almost every single character in all of open world games. He's fast. Sonic being fast completely changes how you have to make an open world. Because Sonic is fast, things have to be more spread apart in order for Sonic to actually not be constantly stopped. In a Sonic game, you want to keep going fast, so you want room to keep running in an open world, and that's a big reason why I think the game isn't actually as empty as people seems. I just think things are more spread out because of how fast you can move in Sonic Frontiers. And some of the gameplay, Sonic does look pretty slow, but we know there's a skill tree you upgrade Sonic's speed, and even a mode where he goes in a hyper boost if he gets 400 rings. There's a lot of ways to go fast in Frontiers from what we know. So the fact is, things need to be spread out. Here's Brian Shea from Game Informer who got to play Sonic Frontiers for about 4 hours, and this is what he said.
You can't have the same density of the world when you have a character that's moving as fast as Sonic. Like, Breath of the Wild, Link is probably moving 1/5 the speed of Sonic in Sonic Frontiers. So you can't have that same density in a game like Sonic Frontiers, or else you're just going to be running into enemies and obstacles constantly. So that's perhaps why the world looks so empty to people who haven't played the game.
And when Brian said this is something I was already thinking, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of glad he said that, because it kind of reaffirms how I was feeling about the open world. I didn't feel like it felt exactly empty. Now, me making this video isn't me saying this game is going to be great because of this. The activities that we get to can still be very much mid, but I just don't think it's going to be empty or not there. There could be quantity, but we don't know about the quality. At least from Brian Shea's experience, he enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean we're all going to enjoy it. Because we all know those Ubisoft games love to have quantity but not quality in their side activities, or even time to engagement. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the last Ubisoft game I tried to play, and I just couldn't really get into it. But overall, that's the main reason I don't think that it looks empty. What's also interesting about Sonic Frontiers is the whole rail discussion. We know that the rails are actually now something that come into the game after you complete activities. They're not always there from the get-go, and they kind of act as fast travel without even having to use fast travel. It's in-game fast travel essentially. So I think that's something that can make the world even snappier, even though it doesn't really look that great having floating rails, but at least the functionality of it could be pretty nice. And look, Sonic Frontiers I still think overall looks rough. It's been looking better lately, but there's a lot of areas where it looks rough, but it does look fun. And I do think Sega is trying with this game, and Sonic Team is trying with this game. I genuinely do think they are. They just gotta make the hit. But overall, those are my thoughts on why I think Sonic Frontiers doesn't look empty so far. We could be totally and completely wrong on that, but that's the way I feel personally. And hopefully, I'm not proven wrong, and hopefully I'm proven right, and it isn't empty. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And like always, I'll see you in the next one.